ring?
I feel like it'll be a little entertaining. I don't know how long he's gonna last in with these big shots coming at him, but hey, we only time will tell. You know, I'm not here to hype that shit. Not even my business. That's somebody else fish to fry.
Yeah.
You know, I got my own fish to fry.
Terence Crawford is not going to do anything to Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford, yes, he's good. He's a 4-division world champion, 2-division undisputed, but he couldn't even hurt Majimov.
Is that they think that Canelo is easy work because of the fact that he's flat-footed and he just kind of like, he does basic, I would say. He has basic skills, but he's really good at those basic fundamental skills.
Jermell Charlo breaks down why he believes Canelo will beat Terence Crawford. He explains that the biggest factor is how long Crawford can survive Canelo's heavy shots. Charlo points out that Crawford is already moving up in weight just to face Canelo, which makes the challenge even more brutal. In his view, the fight will depend on whether Crawford can manage Canelo's power and constant pressure over the rounds. Analysts also argue that Terence couldn't seriously damage Majimov, who isn't even close to Canelo's level, while Crawford's win against Errol Spence was dominant. This situation is completely different. Canelo is a proven legend, younger, more active, and far stronger, making him a much tougher opponent for Bud.
They never got in the ring with anything like a Terence Crawford. They never got in the ring with a former champion, with an elite fighter. And he couldn't hurt. He couldn't hurt Majimov. Canelo Alvarez is no Earl Spence, ladies and gentlemen. I know that some of y'all are hyped because what Terence Crawford did an incredible performance and an incredible job versus Earl the True Spence that was supposed to be the big fish, and he turned the big fish into tuna fish on your outline, on your local supermarket. But Canelo Alvarez is not Earl Spence, my brothers. Canelo Alvarez is not Amir Khan. Canelo Alvarez is not Kell Brook. Canelo Alvarez is not Gamboa. Canelo Alvarez is not Felix Diaz. Canelo Alvarez is not Sean Porter. Canelo Alvarez is none of those guys, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo Alvarez is none of those guys. Canelo Alvarez is not the mean machine. Canelo Alvarez is Canelo Alvarez, regarded as one of the greats. And not just the Mexican greats. I don't like how y'all try to put it. Oh no, he's the best Mexican, just because you don't want to say that he's one of the greatest that ever laced him up. Canelo Alvarez is one of the greatest that ever laced him up. Has carried the sport of boxing on his shoulder. And let me say it like this: leading up to the fight, Canelo Alvarez is more active than Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez is more seasoned than Canelo Alvarez is more seasoned than Terence Crawford. He's younger than Terence Crawford. He's more active than Terence Crawford. His resume is better than Terence Crawford. The people that he's fought is better than Terence Crawford. He's fought every damn style. He's fought the best Russians at the time with Kovalev. He fought the best Asian in Kazakhstan and Triple G.
Kell Brook explains why he favors Canelo Alvarez in a clash with Terence Crawford, saying Canelo is unlike anyone Crawford has ever faced. Brook highlights that Crawford's victory over Errol Spence was incredible, but it does not prepare him for what Canelo brings. Canelo's strength, experience, and mastery at higher weight divisions make him far more dangerous. Brook believes Crawford has never been in the ring with someone who has Canelo's power, ring IQ, and overall skill set, which makes this matchup one of the hardest tests of his career.
You've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's going to have to, move up. And, I knew when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting the middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay. But when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
You think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the ring, but he's very much a good mover as well. Do you feel like he's still got the legs to be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to?
Well, I don't know. I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more, he kind of sets his feet. He's just he's cute with how he approaches chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather.
Analysts are stressing that Terence Crawford might simply be too small to hurt Canelo Alvarez effectively, considering he's jumping nearly 3 divisions with limited action at 154. They compare this to Floyd Mayweather, who faced several elite names before Canelo, while Crawford has only tested himself against Madrimov at that level. Gabriel Rosado adds that fighters used to facing opponents with natural power at higher weights don't feel the same danger from smaller men. That raises a question of whether Crawford can truly handle the strength and explosiveness Canelo will bring on fight night.
I think that Crawford may be too small to really impact and hurt Canelo Alvarez. He's moving up pretty much 3 weight classes, which is exactly what I said. I'm not counting 154. He had 1 fight, bro. He had 1 fight. Floyd Mayweather got more fights at 54 than Terence Crawford. Boop. Because Crawford, he fought Madrimov. Floyd fought De La Hoya, Cotto, and then he fought Canelo at 152. So you had an aging Floyd who fought more times at the higher weight class, and Bud looks to be a bigger dude than Floyd Mayweather, right? So when Floyd was 37, he moved to 52 and fought a much bigger Canelo. Crawford's 37, he fighting Madrimov with 11 fights. Not the same. It's not. I don't care what y'all talking about. The Bud Buddy's just going to have to be mad at me because truth is truth. So that's a valid question. And again, I'll be glad when this fight's over. Put it that way. I don't care who wins. May the best man win. I hope it's a double knockout. I already told y'all. Just because I'm just over it. And I want to get back to some of the other fights. There's other fights that are interesting and they make more sense. Like Brian Norman, Devin Haney. I'm interested in Yard versus Benavidez, etc. There's some fights we're hearing about, blah, blah, blah. So I'll be glad when this is over, to be 100% honest. There's more fights that actually fans have been requesting that matter, blah, blah, blah. But Rosado, he brought up a lot of good points. He was saying Crawford, he thinks he's too small. And he even gave his own personal experience. He said, I'm 180, 190 solid. And when I fight guys that are welterweights, even if they crack and they're known for being menacing, murderous punchers at the lower weight classes, 140, 147, them moving up, it feel like pillows when they fight me. When I get hit with their punches, it feel like pillows because I'm used to getting hit by triple, right? He used to Triple G work. He used to Lemieux work. So to me, this is kind of common sense, but common sense ain't that common, right?
Experts continue to emphasize the key factor in a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, whether Crawford can absorb Canelo's punches. Many opponents have been broken down by Canelo's power. While some critics label Canelo as flat-footed, analysts explain his style is highly calculated. He fights with balance, timing, and precision, planning his feet to generate maximum force in every shot. This is the real danger for Crawford. His defense and movement could allow him to avoid punches for stretches, but Canelo's patience and accuracy mean openings always come. The real question is whether Crawford can remain calm and durable under that kind of relentless firepower. Most analysts believe the outcome may not depend on who lands more punches, but whether Crawford's chin and body can endure Canelo's punishment.
Crawford gonna be able to take Canelo's punches, and is Canelo gonna be skilled enough to not keep on getting banged up by Crawford and his craftiness? It's like, the battle of two greats, you know what I mean? So I believe that Canelo, you really see him, when you see him fight, he almost got a one-way style, and it works for him. He likes to get in there and bang you up. He likes to throw hard punches. He likes to break you down. He likes to hit you everywhere. You're gonna hit in your body, your arms, the forehead, the ear, the neck. Wherever he can land a good one, he's gonna land it, and that usually breaks him down. So with some fighters, I see is that they think that Canelo is easy work because of the fact that he's flat-footed and he just kind of He does basic, I would say. He has basic skills, but he's really good at those basic fundamental skills. He does everything almost like perfect. But yeah, he's flat-footed, but you got to realize that he also has hell of a head movement and body movement. He understands, and he's perfected that rolling with the punch thing.
The night Terence Crawford dismantled Errol Spence is remembered as one of the most dominant performances ever. Crawford displayed speed, accuracy, timing, defense, and finishing ability all in one flawless performance. He broke down a man once considered one of the top welterweights with ease. That night confirmed Crawford as one of this generation's greatest fighters. Now, his training partners say he looks even sharper. They insist his speed is still crisp, his reflexes remain sharp, and his conditioning is at its peak. Even at an older age, Crawford seems more focused and refined than ever. Those who have seen his preparation believe he's in the best form of his career. That confidence could be the crucial edge he needs against a dangerous opponent like Canelo.
Than ever, more dangerous than ever, and most importantly, he looks like the greatest version of himself. Now, can we actually believe this? Can Terence Crawford at nearly 39 years old, with him being inactive, with him being heavier than ever, is it possible that the man will actually look better than ever? Now, let's think about it, ladies and gentlemen. When you're talking about someone like Terence Crawford or Canelo Alvarez, you're talking about the elite of the elite. And if I'm going to be honest, Terence Crawford, when he fought Errol Spence, in my opinion, in all my years of watching combat sports, I'm a MMA guy turned into boxing. But I have never, ever, ever in my life watched an elite championship fight and had my jaw absolutely drop to the floor with the greatness that I witnessed. And that is the only way to describe what Terence Crawford did versus Errol Spence. In my opinion, that was the greatest performance in our lifetime. I mean, I can't go back to the old days. I'm not a historian. But as far as I'm concerned, that was the greatest performance I have ever seen in my life. And especially to who he did it to, Errol Spence. Dangerous southpaw at the time. I believe he was pound for pound number 3. And Terence Crawford absolutely annihilated him.
Former middleweight champion Kelly Pavlik shared strategic insight on how Terence Crawford could beat Canelo. His advice focuses on the early rounds. According to Pavlik, Crawford cannot let Canelo dictate the pace. Instead, he must rely on his footwork, sharp combinations, and ring IQ to force Canelo into working harder than normal. The idea is clear. If Crawford can make Canelo throw more punches, move his feet, and chase the fight, it will drain the Mexican star's energy. Pavlik points out that Canelo has shown signs of slowing down in the later stages of long battles. That is where Crawford's chance may come. By applying pressure early, he can limit Canelo's explosiveness late and possibly outpoint him or even score a late stoppage.
First 4 rounds, because when Canelo has to fight, when Canelo has to step it up, after 7 rounds, he starts to fade a little bit. We've seen that with Bivol. We've seen it in a lot of his fights with Triple G. You know, when Canelo could control the fight and the ring generalship, he could fight 12 rounds pretty good. But when Canelo gets pushed early on in the fight, he starts to fade muscle endurance-wise. So if I was Crawford, I would kind of stay in his ass a little bit on, the early rounds and make him have to play catch-up in rounds 3, 4, 5. And then by round 7, that's where, he could really step it up.
Dan Raphael made an important comparison between the experiences of both fighters. He explained that Canelo has already dealt with punches from men moving up in weight. Floyd Mayweather, Amir Khan, and Miguel Cotto all came from lighter divisions, yet challenged him at higher weights. Canelo not only fought them, but adjusted to their speed and timing, proving he can handle smaller opponents' best shots. Crawford, on the other hand, has not yet faced a naturally bigger fighter with the size and power Canelo brings. While Crawford has dominated across divisions, stepping in with someone who thrives at heavier weights is a completely different test. Rafael stressed that Canelo's years at the elite level against all kinds of opponents may give him a crucial edge over Crawford, who has yet to face that kind of physical challenge.
Rafael kind of made a great point when talking about sizes, because he said if you look at them two together now, they look the same size. He said people have got the idea of the size thing wrong. It's not looking at them as a physical package. It's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So, and it was good. It was a very good point. He was like, Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the best part of a decade.
Basically.
He's so used to taking those shots, whereas Crawford hasn't. Crawford's been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade.
Yeah.
What's Crawford going to be like? So basically, he's trying to say, Canelo could easily absorb Crawford shots. Can Crawford easily absorb Canelo's punches?
If you're taking shots from Triple G, Sergey Kovalev, Dimitri Bivol, and you're staying on your feet, not getting hurt,
not even getting wobbled.
Not even getting wobbled, just literally shaking it off.
Yeah.
You can take Terence Crawford shots.
100%.
Right.
Mikey Garcia has been blunt with his prediction. He believes Canelo can seriously hurt Terence Crawford. Garcia argues that while Crawford is incredibly skilled, his defense may not be enough to withstand the force of Canelo's punches. He singled out the body work in particular, explaining that Canelo's rib-cracking hooks and uppercuts to the midsection are among his most punishing weapons. In Garcia's eyes, Crawford's technical brilliance can only go so far when matched against raw power at a higher weight. That's why he sees this fight as dangerous for Crawford. Once Canelo starts landing clean, the momentum could flip in an instant. Garcia's comments echo the concern of many experts who believe the gap in size and strength could simply be too much for Crawford to overcome.
He could get dropped, or he feels it enough to be like, fuck this, I'm boxing. And goes on the bicycle and turns southpaw for the rest of the night. And I wouldn't blame him either. Fuck it, you're gonna go in there and collect a fucking paycheck at that point.
Right.
You're not gonna go get hurt.
Right.
What good is it to get fucking 20, 30 million if you are fucking hurt physically, end up in the hospital and hurt just physically, life-changing, you don't want that shit.
But you think Canelo could hurt him? It could be life-changing?
Good, he's that big, fool. One punch could fucking knock him out bad enough to hurt his eye socket or detached retina. You never fucking know.
Right.
So no one wants that shit.
Crawford said if he beats him, he's in the top 3 GOATs of all time.
Oh, for sure. If Crawford beats Canelo, then for sure. Give him all the fucking props in the world, bro. And he actually does have a chance. It's not like he doesn't have a chance. Don't be too surprised if he fucking pulls it off in the decision.
Antonio took a far more optimistic stance on Terence Crawford's chances, pointing to his mental preparation. He explained that Crawford is known for visualizing fights long before the first bell. That means he already understands what Canelo brings and has mentally rehearsed how to respond. According to Antonio, Crawford's greatest strength is his adaptability and intelligence. He has never depended solely on physical advantages, but instead built his career on adjusting to opponents, breaking them down and imposing his rhythm. In his view, this fight won't be decided by weight classes, but by skill sets. If Crawford can execute his strategy, Antonio believes his versatility and ring IQ could help him neutralize Canelo's physical edge and create a real path to victory.
Deep thinker. He processed fights like nobody else. And he's processed this Canelo fight. He's seen it. He went through it 2 or 3 times already. He knows how this ends. You can tell the way he shadow boxes. He visualizing Canelo being right there in front of him. You understand? Look at the movement. That's all you got to do. Look at the movement. And that's the type of master boxer that Canelo is going to be facing. And the only thing I say is Canelo hasn't faced an opponent like this in a long time. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's going to have to go back to the Caleb Plant fight and look that good, that active, that, you feel me, moving with that type of grace to beat Terence Crawford. Because weight ain't going to make the difference. It ain't going to be the weight. It's going to be the skill set.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more breakdowns, predictions, and fight analysis coming your way soon.